Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jai Gauranitai, 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 Jai Gauranitai. Jaya Gauranitai, 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 Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Jagannath, Baladeva, Jaya Subhadra. Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Jagannath, Baladev, Jaya Subhadra. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Nitai Gaur Hare Ba, Hare Ba, Hare Ba, Ba Hare Ba. Jai Vishnu Pad Paramahamsa Parivrajapacharya Astotra Satat Sissiman Divine Greatness Companacharya Srila Abhacharya Navinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Vishnu Pad Paramahamsa Parivrajapacharya Astotra Satat Sissiman Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Goswami Prabhupada Maharaj Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnavina Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Kaur Ki Jai. Prem se Kahao Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Se Advaita Gadadara Se Basadi Se Gaura Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai. Se Radha Krishna Gopal Gopinath Syamakunda Radha Kunda Girigovardhana Ki Jai. So Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai, Se Mathura Dham Ki Jai, Se Mayapur Navadip Dham Ki Jai, Se Jagannapuri Dham Ki Jai. Ganga Maya Yamuna Maya Ki Jai, Se Mata Tulsi Devi Bhakta Devi Ki Jai, Sama Veda Bhakta Vena Ki Jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari. All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Gaura and Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. To count to 5. Chapter 1, is it? Thank you. I don't know. 28, yeah, it's supposed to be 28. Is that one? Chapter 1. Check it out. Jai Sisi Jagannath Baladev Jai Gauranga Jai. 28. They wrote the whole thing on one line. Title of the chapter is The Activities of Maharaj Priyavrata. Canto 5, Chapter 1, Text 28. Anya Shamapi Yayam Trayaputra Asam Otamas Tamaso Revata Iti Manvantaradi Patayaha. Okay, I'll just go, let's just do the word for word translation together. Word for word translation, please kindly respond and repeat. Aniyasya, order. Api, also. Yayam, in the wife. Trayaha, tre. Putraha, sons. Asam, they were. Uttamaha, Tamasaha, Revataha. Uttama, Tamasa, and Revata. Iti, does. Manu Antara of the Manvantara millennium. Adipatayaha, rulers. Translation: in his other wife, Maharaj Priyavrata begot 3 sons, named Uttama, Tamasa, and Revata. All of them later took charge of Manvantara millenniums. Please kindly respond with repeat. In his other wife, Maharaj Priyavrata begot 3 sons, named Uttama, Tamasa, and Revata. All of them later took charge of Manvantara millenniums. Purport. In every day of Brahma, there are 14 Manvantaras. The duration of one Manvantara, the lifespan of one Manu, is 71 yugas. And each yuga is 4,320,000 years. Almost all the Manus selected to rule the Manvantaras came from the family of Maras, Priyavrata. 3 of them are particularly mentioned herein, namely Uttama, Tamasa, and Revata. Magyana Tamarana Syaha, Gyana Janamsalaka, Saksola Militam, Yena Tasmai, Si Gurave Namaha. Sajeta Yamanam Vista, Stafitam, Yena Bhutali. Krishna Chaitanya Prabhupada Syadvaita Gadara Siva Sadhguru Bhakti. So, Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutali. Srimati Bhakti Swami Itinam. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharine. Nirvisesa Sunya Bhali Pasatma Disatharina. Mancha Kalpatarevicha, Kripasunabhyavicha, Patitam, Bhavadabhyo, Vaishnavabhyo, Mon. Jayat Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhupada Advaita Gadara Siva Sadhguru Bhakti. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. So, contrary to what modern scientists tell us, the world is just a creation of a jigsaw puzzle by accident, Big Bang, whatever, so many theories of creation. The Bhagavatam gives us an express delineation precisely how the universe was created, how humans, animals, and other embodied entities were created. And all of these are attributed to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna. So the same Bhagavatam is giving how Lord Krishna first expands to Balaram, and then Balaram to the Chaturvyuha, quadruple expansion, another quadruple expansion, before you get to Mahavishnu, and then down the line to the Vishnus. Before the creation of this universe, there are a lot of detailed information that took place, and sometimes people read and it could be just too complex. The very process of creation is very complex in this 5th canto, and this precisely wanted his scientists at the Bhakti Vedanta Institute to see how to fit this into a setting that could be digestible to the masses. Because people in general, we have imbibed this culture of the world being created by the Big Bang, the world being created by some accident. But we understand that if an accident happens, there's always, is it orderliness or destruction? What happens when an accident happens? See, there's a crash. Yes, so sometimes people just accept what the scientists say. And if you are not a scientist yourself, what can you tell them? The government accepts what they say. So who are you to tell them anything? And therefore, it becomes difficult for religious people, especially scholars from the Vaishnava background, who have this understanding of the creation of the universe and how the universe is being run by Manus in different millenniums. It becomes difficult to have this presented before the secular society. And when you quote the Vedic literature, what the traditionally will tell you is, oh, that's mythology. So some Indian scholars, precisely one of them, the disciple of Bhakti Swami, he has a PhD in some science field in India. He developed some model, and he calls the whole of this setting Indian knowledge system. So you can't say it's mythology. you can't say Indian knowledge system is mythology. India is there, and they have a knowledge system. And so when people try to shy away from reality, Krishna also arranges his devotees to come with different strategies on how to buy people over with. In fact, recently we had a conference at Rama University. I was also invited for a presentation. It was all based on this, Indian knowledge system. But then it's just Vedanta, okay? So, yeah, that is one of the reasons why we need to have different strategies on how to present this knowledge. I mean, you're going to tell somebody on the street, or even a religious scholar, that, this is how you're talking about the Manus and all this stuff. Well, they're going to listen to you. But see, Krishna is very trickish. He also makes his devotees to be hyper scholarly, and then they generate models that the mass of people will buy. But it is the same content of Vedic knowledge, Vedic culture. It's just the name is changed in the secular society, in the academic domain. And so, if we understand how a creation comes about, and how each of these Manus are the managers, the ones who are in charge of the laws governing how people live their lives. They govern human society, Manu. And the laws, they also have laws, like in the Manu Samhita, the laws are very, very stringent. Prabhupada makes use of this very word. The laws of nature are very stringent. Stringent means that you can't circumvent it. You can plead an alibi to circumvent the laws when you break the law. And then the laws of Manu, the laws in the Manu Samhita in themselves are so tough that sometimes it looks like in some cases it looks like a Sharia law. It just shows how the material universe is governed so perfectly, and that no one can really eat their cake and have it. And so there are laws in this universe. This universe is governed by personalities. We may not see them. And so there are different avatars, but these Manvantara avatars are purely for governance. Who will set up an organization without administrators? Can you set up a company without administrators? Universe is such a huge organizational setting that it must have perfect managers, people who are really skilled in universal management. So it's different from just having a Fortune 500 company to manage a whole universe. And so this is the precisely the duties of these manus. They have to be able to see that things are put in place and things are organized in a very appropriate way, and people don't go against the rules. In any country, we have a police setting, right? There are constitutions. There are road traffic edicts. And there are also, local edicts. In every community, every locality, every local government, they have their own local laws. So why would someone think that the universe should just be without any governance? People talk about, natural disasters, say, an earthquake happens. I'm not even to talk of earthquake. Say, some tornado is expected. Now, what the scientists will tell us is that at such a time, we should expect this. They don't have any strategy to avert it. We can only evacuate the people within that area. No, we cannot avert it. So there is no governance. There is not. We are not. These things are not being forced on us. We're just free. It doesn't make any sense. So the Bhagavatam gives us a clear vision, insight on how each universe, I say each universe because it's not just one universe. Even Lord Brahma got confused. Lord Brahma of our universe got confused when Krishna was on the planet. Lord Brahma of our universe even thought it's just this universe. And he is the Lord Brahma of this universe. So he went to see Krishna. He paid a visit to Krishna. And the God asked him, "Who are you?" He said, "I'm Lord Brahma." "Tell my Lord, he knows me. I'm here to visit, to see." That is the person, the most intelligent person in this universe. The most realized person in this universe, Lord Brahma. Even himself did not have perfect understanding of his position and the universe or the cosmology. So when the God went to his master, went to Krishna himself, that's the guest, Lord Brahma is here to see. So Krishna asks, which of the Lord Brahmas? He came to ask, Lord Brahma. So that my Lord says, he wants to know which of the Lord Brahmas. What? Lord Brahma was confused. So, Krishna made him to realize, you see, even these highly evolved beings, these highly evolved jivas, they can be confused about this universe. Is it ordinary scientists who will not be confused? Lord Brahma is the source of the scientist. He was confused about this universe, about his position in the cosmic creation. Is it we, tiny entities with small, teeny brains? Lord Brahma had 4 heads, means 4 brains. And because this universe is having 4 directions, but even that, he was confused. What makes us think that we know everything? And so this you see, some of these leelas are there, but it's also called, some of the leelas also call for critical thinking. So here, Lord Brahma was confused. And then to clarify Brahma's ambiguities, Lord Krishna invoked other Brahmas to come. And then they were all coming, paying obeisances. Some of them, Lord Brahma found himself, he was so teeny. Was like a speck in the midst of other Lord Brahmas. So Krishna is the source of everything. So he doesn't just make the claim, and he makes the claim with authority, and he can also present evidence, scientific evidence. Scientific evidence in the sense that something you can observe and make your own conclusions. When you go to the laboratory to conduct an experiment, what is the essence of the scientific value? Because you will see some things yourself, and there are some tests you will have to be able to conduct, say a blue litmus test or a green litmus test to check the gas that is coming out from the cylinder. That's science. So Lord Krishna invoked the other Brahmas, and Lord Brahma could see that he was so small. And he realized his position. So, this Manus, you're hearing about the source of the Manus from our own Bhagavatam, Priyavrata. And it is important to understand that we are very, very insignificant. We are so small. And our universe is so small. And because our universe is so small, sometimes it could also be confusing. If Lord Brahma was himself confused, we could also be confused about our pristine identity. Lord Brahma was confused about his position. Why would we not be confused about our pristine identity? Why not? So creation, the point here is that creation and universal governance is not something wishy-washy, and it's not something that is born out of accident. It's well organized. We have small families, and we have to organize our families in a very nice way. Someone will have to be going to work, someone will have to cook, someone will have to do the cleaning. This is organizational setting. So the universe is also arranged like that, but then the overall, we have to understand that there is someone in charge. Krishna mentions in the Bhagavad Gita that The material world and the spiritual worlds are all emanations from him. And then the whole idea of these detailed explanations about the universe, the different incarnations, and the Manvantaras, it's just to demonstrate how Krishna is so unlimited, and we should consider ourselves so fortunate that we are taking or trying to take shelter of that Supreme Personality of Godhead. In the Nectar of Devotion, I think I mentioned this the other day. Nectar of Devotion, Rupa Goswami mentions that people don't come to Krishna by chance. Anybody you see come to our temple, they don't come by chance. They were devotees in their past life. They conducted there was some investments, devotional investment in their past life. If they are devotionally bankrupt, they wouldn't come. People who are devotional bankruptcy, they wouldn't come to our temples. And so someone may come and may not be so much interested in learning or sitting down to listen to the class. Someone may be interested in just taking prasadam. And especially the fifth canto is so complex when you talk about creation. It's so complex. And so for us, we need to understand that some of the stuffs that we may read or we may review in our own very literatures may be too complex for us. But there is one simple thing that we can do. We should serve Prabhupada. We should serve the devotees of the Lord. And our realizations will know no bound to be able to facilitate our extrication from the shackles of these unlimited ambiguities, the shackles of ignorance, the shackles of material bondage. So there's a system in the universe for sustainability. People have to procreate. Man who is in charge, but the people have to be there. People have to be there before you manage them. And so it boils down to the understanding that the universe has to be sustained. And so there is family development. But that is not the be all and end all. Even in the family development, at some point in time, it's recommended one has to take to Vanaprastha. So in a sense, we are all co-creators. We are co-creators, right? And so we should appreciate what Krishna has provided for us. In the Manu Samhita, there are so many. I remember I was in Alachua, Florida. Alachua, that big community in North America. And during the class, I remember the GBC then, he asked me a question about the laws. He's a lawyer. Then he was asking me a question about the laws in the Manu Samhita, whether they are applicable. Whether they are applicable in present day situation. Some are, some are not. For instance, I mentioned by dint of the governance of Manu, if someone blasphemes your guru, you should cut their tongue. I mean, that's like a Sharia law. So I gave that example that no, so that is not applicable. You can't do that in Kali Yuga. So the point is that these persons we are reading about, Manu, they have a very high social responsibility. It's not just for fun. In fact, to manage a universe is not for fun. See, I studied management to PhD level, and now there are so many leadership professors who are not good in leadership. They can only teach. When it comes to real leadership, no, they can't. They can't lead. Because it's a complex thing. Not to speak of leading or managing a universe, or managing a continent, or managing a country, or managing a planet. We are all small manus. You know, we are managing our affairs. The body is a universe, okay? So we are managing also this body. So we, in a sense, every living being, every embodied being is a small, a minuscule manu. But now we see that even the bodies we try to manage, we don't even know the content of the body. So that's the difference between the minuscule manu and the original manu. And so essentially, what we need is to be able to take proper shelter of Srila Prabhupada and his teachings. And here you have Lord Jagannath, Baladeva and Subhadra. Lord Jagannath has big eyes. You know why he has big eyes? You know why? Who can tell us why Jagannath has to have a big eyes? You know, I remember a story Bhakti told us in Gitanagari. He said, you see, Jagannath has big eyes. He's watching. He sees far and wide. But Krishna doesn't even need big eyes to see far and wide, you know. But it's just his special message to manifest that those big eyes for us to be able to critically analyze what are they for. So, bottom line is that Manu is in charge of governance, and there are stringent laws that are used in governing this universe. We may not perceive them, we may not see them, we may not see anyone policing us. No one is policing us. But these laws are systematically being implemented, executed. Who is coming to force us to get old? Anybody comes to tell you, hey, are you taking steps to get old? No, there's no one coming to tell you that. You just gradually, naturally, you just move towards that. This is the system of governance in the universe. It's subtle arrangement, subtle governance. There's no physical administration. But when we understand how things are put in place, and how Lord Krishna is the mystery behind the curtain, then we should take proper shelter of Lord Krishna. Essentially, that's what wise people do. Or we may choose to just struggle so hard and minimize the laws of nature. But the Shiva hetu prayateta COVID na labdate brahmata uparita talabdate dukavat ayanta sukha kalena savata gabira ramasa. Jai Sisi Jagannath Baladeva Subhadra ki jai. Mr. Golden Uttara ki jai. We may work so hard, but that may not be the determining factor of our resourcefulness or our enjoyment. Our enjoyment is just set aside. It's there for us. It doesn't mean that we should not work very hard. We are born with a package of enjoyment. We are born also with a package of suffering. This is how man who rules the society. But we just naturally, we navigate through the whole system. This is how the universe is subtly ruled. And we don't have fraudsters. We don't have, people who will engage in fraud and not be prosecuted because they have money. No. So it is important for us to see how we can utilize our lives in serving Prabhupada. Because when we're serving with devotional mindset, we get purified and we can understand these difficult concepts in the Bhagavatam. Otherwise, we may not just need to even bother with the difficult concepts, but simply to serve and chant Hare Krishna, because the essence is to become purified and be able to rejoin Krishna. The essence of all that we are doing is to be able to chant Hare Krishna properly. Oh yeah. Or no matter what type of sophisticated things we do, the essence is to come to the level where we can chant Hare Krishna without any cessation, with a good rapport with the holy name. Otherwise, if we are talking about detailed information in the fifth canto, it might be hard not to crack. But what is not difficult is that Prabhupada has given us what anyone can participate in. And so the intelligent person, the Kavis, the intelligent people, they take to the process of devotional service. Yeah. Because the enjoyment that people are sacrificing their devotional culture to pursue is available with time. Kalena Sarvatra. Kala. With all living entities, everywhere, their enjoyment and their suffering are determined by time. It doesn't mean that we should not work hard. Sometimes, it's so easy. It's so easy because hermeneutics is very difficult. Interpretation is very difficult. Sometimes it's so easy to confuse the philosophy and make us, lazy. No, we should work harder than even the non-devotees. Yeah. Any comments or questions? Yes.
What can I do if I feel no balance between baggage of suffering and the baggage of enjoyment, and I have always to fight because maybe sometimes the suffering is too heavy, so I'm not able to chant. I suffer about pain, about when I'm very, very tired, from all this stuff here. Mm. So I don't find balance. Mm. I would like to, but I'm not able.
Mm. Thank you. It's a nice point, nice question you raised. Because we have a material body, there's a slogan that says, give to Caesar what is to Caesar. We have a material body. We should not think that the material body's demands should not be provided. The body needs some hours of rest. Out of the 24 hours, the body needs some hours of rest. And Prabhupada says the system is such a way that we use like 6 hours for rest. Go to bed at 9 o'clock and rise at 3 o'clock. I don't know what time. I don't know what time. What's your schedule here? But when we joined, this was the system, and the idea is that at least the body needs some hours of rest. And people who work too hard and refuse to deprive the body of rest, they suffer consequences. Research reports in America with female doctors, young female doctors, who will work 24 hours most of the time. The report shows that when they were aging, when they're getting older, like in their 50s, that had a very severe setback on their health. So we cannot cheat material nature. We need some time to rest the body. If the body needs rest and we don't give it, and see, I experiment that with myself. Sometimes I have too much of work to do, and then I need to force myself, and then I do the work, and before I know, I'm sitting on the computer and I'm falling asleep. Yes, so the body needs some rest, and if the number of hours that your body needs is not provided, you may not have a good balance. You may not concentrate. The best hours to be able to rest properly is between 10 and 12, according to modern science. Within that period, if you are able to rest within that period, the body is rejuvenated to a great degree. And the best hours for creativity is the early morning hours, what we refer to as the Brahma Muhurta. Scientists have also come up with reports that those are the best hours for innovations. So see, the very culture is set up is such a way that this system is set down by sages and by the Supreme Lord himself. So the Lord and his great sages, they know what is best for us. So if we have challenges in maintaining the body, we should also check our systems and see. And sometimes devotees neglect to take care of their health too, saying, I'm not this body, so I don't care. But we need the body to be able to serve. So we should take proper care of the body, because the body is housing the super soul and the jiva. So this temple, they maintain it very nicely because Krishna is here, Lord Jagannath is here. The body is housing Paramatma and the jiva. So we have to maintain the body properly. Eat properly. Don't starve yourself. Yeah. Sometimes we can go. I've seen devotees who went to the extreme. And then I remember my Guru Maharaj, he told us, some of us, that time, at one time we used to fast, during the Kadas we used to fast till the next day, and then not sleeping till the next day. So he told us, stop it. That he performed so much of austerities, and he had some severe setbacks on his health as he was getting older. So if you are young, and see, the body can make us feel that, we can overwork it, but we cannot cheat nature. We will pay the price later. So it's better to have a balance. Do the things that you can do without overburdening the body. Rest properly. and use the appropriate hours for your official devotional sadhana. Use those hours nicely. Yeah, if we do that, it will help a lot. Because I know one of the major factors that affects our devotees in our movement is also the eating. I don't know what you do here, but I know, like in India and in most of the temples and most other countries, our feast is also like a problem for some devotees, because we make all these deep fried foods, really sugared food. I remember in New Jersey, when I was a brahmachari, I was in New Jersey, and then one devotee came from India, and then he was asked to go and do breakfast. And so we couldn't eat the food, we couldn't eat the prasadam, and so some devotees went to complain to him that he used too much of oil. We don't use too much of oil here in America like that, because it's very dangerous. His response was, "You are in Maya. Krishna ate this and you are complaining." Yeah, so our eating habits needs to also be regulated. Yuktahara vihara said. Lord Krishna said self-regulation is essential for balancing. This is Lord Krishna. This is not my advice, Lord Krishna's advice. He said self-regulation. Yeah.
But self-regulation is sometimes very autonomous, you know.
Huh?
Self-regulation is sometimes really autonomous.
Okay. How is that?
Head tells you have to be self-regulated and controlled, but when I do my seva, I go working, I come back at home in the night time, you know, I feel so hungry, I have to eat. Yeah. Because I feel hungry, I cannot go to sleep without eating.
Sure.
So I know it's not regulated, but my body is hungry.
Yeah. So see, I mentioned earlier that regulate your body, don't overstarve yourself. I mentioned that. Don't deprive yourself from the number of hours you need to sleep. Okay? Yeah, so when you do that, it could help to create a very result-oriented balance. And also you use your 24 hours nicely. When you have your 24 hours checked for different activities, that also helps you a lot. How much these days, you know the major problem these days? You know the major maya these days? Not just for not only for devotees, but even non-devotees. For non-devotees, they've written books now about, how to break off from the smartphone. How to break off from the internet. Because I have seen people who failed out from college because of that. I've seen people who lost their jobs because of smartphones, because of internet. Yeah, so there's nothing wrong in the internet, I guess. But how we use it is the problem. Again, the impulses of the sensory modalities compel us to do things against our better judgment. And so we need to constantly self-monitoring. We have to do self-monitoring. Self-monitoring. When we do self-monitoring, we'll be able to figure out what are the things that I need to stop doing, what are the things I need to improve on. And that helps a lot, because that becomes like part of your to-do list. I have to check this, I have to do this, I have to do this. As soon as we think that we are fine, we are all right, then we are looking for trouble. There's always ways. There are always avenues for us to improve on what we have. Even the student who has A in his courses, he can get A+. Oh yeah. So there are ways we can always improve in our devotional values. We can always improve in our sadhana. Yeah. But your questions are very valuable. Your insights are very valuable. They're very important. Any other last comment? Taste all of the time. Yeah.
In the beginning, I heard that you told Brahma felt very distracted and tiny. It was Brahma with his 5 heads. Why he felt tiny? Because he's the biggest god. Who was bigger than Brahma that he felt tiny?
Okay. Now, Lord Brahma, I was referring to Lila in the 10th canto, when Lord Brahma of our universe went to visit Lord Krishna at Dwarka in India, when Krishna was on the planet. So the security guard asked Lord Brahma who he was. He said, he's Lord Brahma. You just tell Krishna Lord Brahma is here. Krishna knows me. And so he went to the security went to tell Krishna that Lord Brahma is here. Then Krishna said, ask which of the Brahmas. Because his universe is governed, is ruled, is overseen by a particular one Brahma. And our universe is one of the smallest universes. A universe has only 4 directions. There are universes with 10 directions, 100 directions, etc. So when Krishna heard that Lord Brahma is here to see him, so he was trying to figure out. He knows that he's Lord Brahma of this universe, but he wanted to teach Lord Brahma a lesson because Lord Brahma tends to think that he is the greatest. Okay? So Krishna asked, which of the Lord Brahmas? And then Lord Brahma was confused when the guard came to ask, which of the Lord Brahmas? Yeah. And that is why Lord Krishna invoked other Lord Brahmas, and then they came running down, paying obeisances, full dandawa with their hundreds of heads, big elements. And Lord Brahma felt, oh! He has only 4 heads, and some of them we are having multiple, hundreds of heads. That's why he felt tiny. But Krishna wanted to just teach him a lesson that, hey, you're not the only Lord Brahma. Yeah. Sometimes also we think that we are the greatest, okay? I am the best. Siddham, Balawansaki. Yes, so we also have that mentality, thinking we are the greatest. That was the story. All right. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Bhakti Vasudeva Swami
Jai.
What's the name?
Damodara Daniela.
Damo?
Dari.
Damo Dari.
Or Daniela.
Daniela. So Damo Dari is the devotional name?
From Shaman. No, Shaman. She was from from
Oh.
exactly from Rosberg, from America, from Europe. Yes, she made nice paintings for books, for all the books. And she was doing it for
Oh, okay. Okay. Luciano, never did.
and I tried. It's not always possible.
Right.
Because I'm not there, so
Very no.
yes.
Having
Yes, I have control. Yes, I have control, really. But I was irregular, and I changed on my hand and made chocolate so nice to do with jam, yes. Sometimes small rounds, sometimes adults.
yeah, nurses, they have different, sometimes they work in the afternoon, sometimes in the night.
Yes, it's totally different.
Yeah, I know. What's some doctors?
Totally not possible.
Why? What do you mean?
Because of my because of my irregular working times, you know. Sometimes I can chant in the morning, that's possible. Then
Sure.
it's better to follow to chant in the night time because it's more slow, it's more quiet, you know.
Nurses are very, from doctors, it's a challenge because we work in different directions.
Yes, yes. But very important is the seva and to come in to have Krishna temple and yeah.
Thank you. Keep on doing what
I
you're doing.
have some questions.
Sure.
Did you accept some devotees, maybe devotees? To accept some?
So, means what?
I like to have a guru.
Oh, really?
Guru, you know. Some guru, like all, you know. Did you accept? No, really, you have to hear me.
Uh-huh.
It's really serious.
Okay.
Because I'm since 30 years I go into temple in England, you know. And I never found some guru to ask if you accept me as his student. Really. Yes. And I think,
You're not serious. Come on.
no, really, I think it's time that I have also a guru.
Okay.
Also a guru.
Okay.
And yeah, Krishna Prabhupada was teaching me that's he told me, hey, it's not good to have a guru like this. You have to meet how to do this. So it's time to find some discoveries. And yes, I think, oh, really.
Why do you think that?
Because, you know, I would like to take serious my spiritual life. And I have the feeling that I'm walking on pace. It's not, it doesn't go forward. I think I'm moving in circle, you know. And I like to go forward in my spiritual life because I have to care a lot of people first. And I'm a family woman, you know. I kind of family, and in my family I have a lot of people sick. My father is sick, the father of my son is sick, and I have to care them. And sometimes I have no other chance than to go to Krishna and to ask him for protection. And I feel that I would have to be more attached to Krishna. And I think a guru would help me to go further in my spiritual life.
Why did you first speak with Krishna Prema? What is his name? Krishna Prema. Krishna Prema speak with him. Because he's the local person, not the church. Speak with him and express your desires.
You know very well that I have to accept a guru, he know my situation because I'm going in the course. I read with him and we read books, together. And he's my teacher, he's my teacher. Yes. And he told me all this, that I have to concentrate on Istanbul and not go to check some outside gurus. And Shamarani Didi is very important for me, because she can paint, she's artist, but she's not in school. So I would like to be clear with the parampara also. Understand?
It's a good mindset. Yeah, just seen me for the first time. Have you seen me before? Yeah. So.
I was meeting you 3 months ago,
Huh?
3 months ago, it was true that you come to visit us, and I was here and I was waiting.
Oh, really?
Yes. And then they told me, hey, he doesn't got a visa. Yeah. And
No. I got a visa. Okay. I'm a US citizen, so I don't need a visa to come here.
Yeah.
But my passport was having only 2 months to expiration. So they said, no, you cannot come to this country with 2 months of expiration. So that's why when I went to America, I had to go and change my passport. Yeah. I don't need a visa to come to most European countries as a US citizen.
But now you can stay here for 1 week.
Yeah, I'm leaving on Thursday also.
Cool.
I'll come again maybe early next year or before the end of the year. Yeah. So my point is, you are just seeing me. Why don't you take time and study me? I have things on the internet. So study what I say, whether you think this is somebody that you're going to work with and give you that. Yes, I'm a guru, okay? I'm Islamic, I'm a guru. I'm also a scholar. I have a PhD in management science. So let's study. My point is studying first.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like when you laugh,
Thank you.
That's great. You laughing. Yeah. And
What's the name again?
Damodari.
Damodari.
The name from my parents is Daniela. And Damodari is the name from Shamarani.
Yeah. So my point is, take your time studying first. Okay? See what I'm saying, what my activities, my teachings, whether it's something. When you study somebody, when you see a young girl sees an attractive man, then you don't jump and say, I want to marry you. No, study him, go close to him, and then check. What is this guy? What is he all about? What does he say? What does he like? What? What I want you to do. But thank you. Okay.
Welcome.
You write, do you communicate in English?
Yes.
Okay. I can give you my email just in case you want to. Okay, you can take it down.
You can write it